You see, Jamie, it can be very helpful to a young person listening to your extraordinary story to kind of get a real sense of where you were at the time Peter came and rescued you. And so, Jamie, I want to get a sense from you about how you found yourself homeless at 16 and what it was like.
I was living above the school in a boiler house, above the all-in school, me and another lad. He'd, you know, took a few wrong turns himself. I had a single mother. She did absolutely brilliant for me. My father lived abroad. There was only me and my mum here. The rest of me, you know, actual family all lived in Gibraltar, so there were only me. And, yeah, it just, I mean, it's big lad, larger than life, turned up, you know. It's hard at that age. It's hard. You don't really notice it. You know, if you've never done it before, kind of a bit laugh at, oh, I've got nowhere to go tonight, I'll stay here. Before you know it, you've done another night there. Before you know it, you found somewhere to stop with your mate with a few things, you know, a few blankets and whatnot. At one point, I was living in a car, in the swimming baths in Kippocks. And I remember being sat there with my mate living in a car at the time, and there was ice on inside of the windows. Extremely cold, see your breath. We used to laugh about it. We used to put a blanket over your face like that, get up in the morning absolutely freezing. Yeah, and it just went from there up to school and that, and then before you know it, a week turns into 2 weeks, 2 weeks turns into a month, and before you know it, you're a young man, nowhere to live. Obviously, there's other options, but you don't see it at the time.
But there must have been some pretty frightening moments.
It was not having anyone there. It was just hard. It was hard, really hard.
Now, Peter, you come along and you see something in Jamie. And the thing is, sir, it's not just you, but when you take him home, because you're a young man yourself, your mum and the rest of your family take him in as well, correct?
Yeah.
Tell me what happened, sir.
I saw him and he was crying, so see anyone crying, you always go up and see if they're all right. And I just said, what's up with you? He couldn't talk, blah, blah. Yeah, we took him to my mum's. My mum was going, who's this? I don't know him, I don't. But I said, he's got nowhere to live, he's got nowhere to go, mum, so my mum just said, we can stop here, he ain't stopping on the school roof.
You know, everything that I've learned in my life, doing anything for anybody, I learnt from him and his mother and his sisters.
Can't be easy to have brought Peter to court today.
It was the hardest thing I've ever done, on that sense of it, because everybody that, you know, knows me and thingy, you know, they'll be sat here, they'll probably be at home watching going, after everything that man has done, and, you know, his family's done for you.
Let's take it in stages.
No, it's...
Sir, can I ask you, before we get to the substance of this case,
Yeah.
we're going to trot through over the years. Jamie, why were you crying that day? Do you remember?
Alone, nowhere to go. I remember, I think we were at a party, and a lot of other people there, and something got said, and I just remember thinking, when we're going to go tonight? You know, even at that age, I know you're not supposed to drink at that age, but I was just, yeah, we were upset. I think somebody had said something to me. Somebody had upset me, and I was outside upset about it. He's pulled up, school's done that to you. I've gone, no, thingy. He says, who's done that? Who's upset you? I couldn't really talk at that time, and I was a bit shy, quite a shy lad when I was younger. He says, right, get in.
And Peter, how long was Jamie in the family for? Still in the family?
Well, since I've known him, since I've met him, he's always been...
How many years?
Since I was 15, 16.
How old are you now, sir?
32.
And one of the things that's quite extraordinary about your story, and I do mean extraordinary, Jamie, is that not only have you turned things around, but amongst other things, you've started your own business, correct?
Yeah, I have.
How long have you been in business, sir?
I've always done bits and bats with carpet, but doing it for myself, and only for myself, probably been about 10 months now.
But prior to that, you'd been in business, you'd buy and enlarge, been in work.
Yeah.
You'd worked pretty much every day since he was able to work, correct? Yeah. And to top things off, taking from Peter and his extraordinary mum's example, what have you been doing to pay society back?
A year ago, I ended up in the same situation. For some reason or another, I ended up with 2 bags of clothes, 3 dogs, and £1,000 worth of debt. I started working for a carpet company. One day, there was a big pile of carpets left over. You know, we bought job lot. It was cold, it started getting cold, it was snowing all the time. I said, look, there's these carpets here, we can give these away to kids in the community. I said, look how cold it is. I'd been one of them kids with nowhere, so to me it just, you know, normal kind of thing. I just said, look, let's give these to kids that have no carpets in the bedroom. So I put a video out there, if you live in Leeds and you've got no carpets in your kid's bedroom, we'll come out and do it for free. So I put this video out. Before you know it, I had people from all over, you know, just say well-wishing and thinking, you know, sometimes getting a pat on the back, I'm one of them. You pat me on head, I'll just keep going with it. And to see them kids, if you can imagine a kid that's not at the carpet in his bedroom and then the mums are sending you pictures with kids with thumbs up, it becomes kind of an addiction that you can't explain until you've done stuff like that yourself. You can't put it into words. Do you know what I mean? Especially, I never had any money anyway, and now I had a bit of money. I still didn't have any money, but at least I were happy in myself. I had a little bit of self-pride in myself, what I'd never had before. People were stopping me in the street, and instead of saying, this is that lad from here, or whatever he'd done, saying, you're that lad that helps the community out, aren't you? And then before I knew it, I watched this other video about this young man. He'd been living in Leicester, he'd been living in a garage. I watched it with my little girl. We watched it on the phone. She went, look at that, Dad. She went, that's sad. The lad's mum had passed away. He was living in a garage, homeless. Exactly the same situation that I was with him all that time ago. My little girl went, it's sad, that, innit, Dad? By the time she come back to my house next week, I'd got that man up to Leeds. I gave him a job, I put him in a hotel, I paid him wages, I really looked after him, and now he's working for himself and he's in his own house. I felt like, you know, and I kept doing it, and it's the only thing that I actually enjoy doing.
Thank you. Don't be stupid. Stay and watch the best Judge Rinder moments. And I'm talking. Understood? Don't be a moron. Subscribe to Judge Rinder YouTube channel. Right now. That's an order.